Hey guys, welcome. In this lecture, we will create the function in order to upload banners to our storage. Okay, now in order to do this, we have to head back to our VS Code. And first of all, the first step is to create a variable to store the Firebase storage. And the reason for this is because in order to upload to the Firebase storage, we need that Firebase storage package we had earlier stored. So what we have to do is over here, we can create a final and we can just go ahead and specify the type of variable. It is a type of Firebase storage. And we can then call this variable underscore Firebase storage, or for short, we can just say underscore storage. Then it's going to be equal to Firebase storage and dot instance. Great. And now the next step is to create a function. Over here, we can call this function upload banners to storage. And within the parentheses, we are going to pass in a variable called image. And the reason for this is so whenever we call this function, we then have to pass in the value to this variable called image, and which is going to be the picked image or the selected image. And also we can specify it's going to be a type of dynamic. Great, great. And now the next step is to create a folder where all our banners are going to be stored. You can see we had earlier manually did this. Just going to show you this quickly. You can see we have this folder called banners, and click on it. You can see all our banners are within it. Great. And what we want to do now is to create a folder where all our banners are going to be stored. To do this, we then have to use this variable we created over here, underscore storage. So now we can then say underscore storage. Then in order to create a folder, we have to say .ref then .child. And you can see it's asking for the path or the name of the banner, or sorry, the name of the folder. We can call this banners. And you can see we had earlier manually did this. So we can just call that banners, and we can then go further by saying the child again. And this second child is referring to the name of the image or the name of the file. So what we can do is we can use this variable called file name. Remember, basically, the file name variable has access to the picked image name. So over here, we can pass the file name, and we need this over here. Great. And what we can then do is we can store the result in a variable called ref. And it wants us to specify the type. It is a type of something known as reference. Great. And what we want to do now is to upload the image to the storage. To do this, we then have to call this ref variable, and we can then say dot put data, and we can then pass in the image we have over here. For the now, it has no value, but whenever we call this function over here, we then have to automatically pass the value to this variable. But for the now, it has no value. So currently, we are trying to make it dynamic. Great. And also, we can store the result in a variable, and it is expecting something known as upload task. We can just first of all specify the type of variable, and we can then call this upload task. Great. It's going to take some time to upload. So what we have to do is to use the async over here because we are going to be using the await. And now we can then say await upload task. So we are ready to wait till it upload. Great. And we can also store this in a variable, and it is expecting something known as task snapshot. And for short, we can call this snapshot. Great. And basically, this will help us to upload to our storage. But remember, we had earlier upload a banner over here, and also we clicked on it to get the download URL, and then we uploaded it within our Firestore database. You can see it over here. So what we want to do is, after uploading the image within the storage, we also want to get the download URL of that image. So to do this, we then have to call this variable called snapshot, then .ref, then .get download URL. And also we can store the results in a variable called download URL. And now it basically wants us to specify the type. And you can see over here, this is basically a test. You can see we have H, you can see we have TTPS, F, B, ST, AROG, and so on. So you can see it is a type of string. So we have to specify now it is a type of string. And also we have to await for this in order to get the download URL. It's going to take some time to upload. So we are basically saying we are ready to await, or we are ready to wait. It's going to take some time to get the URL. So we are also saying we are ready to await. And lastly, we can then return download. Okay, I think I made a spell mistake over here. Download URL. Great. And this is basically all we need to upload to the storage, and also to get the download URL from the storage. You can see as at then, we did this manually. And now you can see we currently created a code for this. Looking great, right? So in the next lecture, we are going to continue from here.